roger de va, Bhaile, roger de va, Bhaile, roger de va, Bhaile.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Monday Mailbox, where I take questions from the community and answer them for you for your entertainment. First one comes in: how do you feel about the upcoming testing ground changes in terms of stamina, speed, and damage reduction? As a console player myself, I find these changes seem to be making it harder and harder on console. My reaction times aren't the best, and I can't be the only one. I'm going to tackle that last point really quickly. If you're having trouble with your reaction times, there's a lot of drills you can do, you can find online, and a lot of ways you can improve your reaction times to hopefully get a better edge. So, that aside, we're going to go over this really quick because this is a really big topic right now. Stamina changes we need. We need to be able to throw more things. Not losing stamina on parry, whiff, and block. That should have really been gone a while ago. As far as the things coming faster, the attacks themselves aren't going to be faster. Just the indicator. So animation is still going to be the same, but they're making things a little bit more standardized. We won't have these sub 400 speeds. I believe they're getting rid of delays as well. But also, there'll be frame advantage, so if an Orochi finishes his 3-light combo, you have advantage over them, so if you throw a 500 MS light, you'll beat him if he tries to start up another chain. I don't actually see all that much light spam anymore, and I'm on console, on PS4. That's not a thing I see a lot. I see a lot of mix-ups now, where it's throwing lights and heavies combined and making it very, very dangerous and hard to guess. That's what we need. But I know a lot of people are having issues with it. The damage reduction, it's not a huge deal. So it's not testing ground changes, it's not the current data, it's going to be a middle ground in damage values. And that's fine. If you're going to make things a little harder to see and harder to predict, then yeah, reducing damage is perfect for that. Of course, I have 55 reps in Shaolin. I think Shaolin's going to feel this as a benefit the most, because he'll be able to attack more often, his lights are going to be harder to see. He's going to be losing his 400 MS top light, so that's not a huge deal. He'll be able to attack more, his mix-ups are going to be more reliable, and all just a better thing. And he won't run out of stamina doing it. So I might do a video more specifically on this. We'll be able to, I'll go over it more in depth, but we're going to move along. Next one reads, would you like to see half sorting on Warren so he doesn't need to rely on shoulder bash too much? So for those who aren't familiar, but if you play for Honor, you probably are familiar. Half sorting is when you grip the blade with your offhand. Usually on like European longswords is where you see it the most. I think it'd be cool for animations, but there wouldn't actually be a purpose for half sorting that would change up his playstyle. Half sorting, you're reducing your range, your entire cutting capacity, so you can get a stiffer blade and you can have more control for the tip. In context, it's used to guide the tip and have it be stiffer into gaps in European armor, looking at like armpits, neck, visors, back of the knee, groin, that kind of stuff. It as a tool wouldn't make sense in a normal fight, especially against heroes like Peacekeeper who only have a helmet on, and sometimes not even that. As far as moves go, there's not a lot you can do with half sorting to make it a viable attack. There wouldn't be a reason for him to go into it. Furthermore, even if you did choose something, like if you made his normal attacks better, it wouldn't make his shoulder bash less viable. And there's not really a reason to change his shoulder bash right now. It's a very, very useful offensive tool. Getting rid of it would definitely make the least amount of sense to me. If you're going to rework the character top down, sure, you could mess with the shoulder bash and give him like a bunch of different chains. Sure. But he's already really strong right now. But I don't think he's too strong. I think he's just a really good duelist. It's just my 2 cents on that. Third one reads, would you prefer faction executions or hero-specific executions? Of course I prefer hero executions. It allows the developer to flesh out the character of a hero. It's why Shaolins are so playful. It's why Highlander is brutal. It's why JJ's graceful. It's that kind of stuff. It gives more personality. But I will take any executions over no executions unless I'm getting a trade-off for it. Like if they come out like, hey, you're not going to get any executions this time around, but we're reworking 3 characters. Like, cool, okay, fine, that's all right. I think people are a bit harsh on the faction executions we just got. I think they're way too harsh about it. Being too critical on it is being a bit insensitive to the time. Right now it's a bit rough. They may not be able to get to their offices. They may not have the ability to work on it. The running theory on my side is that these weren't intended to replace the normal executions. These were intended for something else, like how sometimes we get emotes in the middle of seasons. But then, I'm not sure if we're allowed to say it on YouTube anymore, but the Backstreet Boys reunion concert, when that started happening, I'm sure that put a wrench in everything. So, I bet my theory is that they were waiting to see if it just went by really quick, see if it gets to their office, and when it started getting really critical, they're like, take those things we already have, put them out there. It's content, people like them, and I really do like them. I think they're really nice and respectful, and that's absolutely what I want. And it's not something we have a lot of, is respectful emotes and executions. And it's super cool. It's very, like, there's a lot of culture to it. Heck, I like them. I'd take them, gladly. My theory is that we're going to get more executions later, but only time will tell on that part. This one's a two-part question. Do you have any characters without a rep? If so, why? And what feats do you think should be tweaked, whether they're over or underpowered? Examples given like Rocksteady and Slippery. Those are very famous ones. It's not the ones I have in mind, though. I actually don't have any characters without a rep, but my lowest rep is, I'm pulling it up right now, is Hitokiri, rep 1, level 10. That's less than my Nushia, and people know I don't really like Nushia. Nushia has 5 more levels. Those are the only 2 that have 1 rep. There's several there are a lot of 2s, a lot of 3s, but I try to play a lot of characters. I would give the reason I don't like playing Hitokiri. It's just not very fun for me. I don't have fun playing Hitokiri. It's just not my thing. It's like playing Warden, but less fashion. I think Warden is a gorgeous character. So many cool swords and armor, and it's pretty much the same mix-up, just with slightly less hyper armor. If you like Hitokiri but don't like the armor set, just go play Warden. It's the same thing. And then about the feats. So, I'm not going to mention Rocksteady as far as like what I think should be rebalanced. I think Rocksteady's fine. Only 2 heroes have it, and they're both not great characters. So, as far as actual like other feats, I think are underwhelming or overwhelming. I guess we'll go low first. I think one of the weakest ones comes with Tiandi, and it's one of the ones he starts with. It's really sad. It's Sacrifice. I think Sacrifice is garbage. By the way, Sacrifice is where he takes a chunk of his own health in trade for giving a little bit of health and full stamina to everyone around him, to his teammates, and himself. He gets his own stamina back. That sounds really cool and all, except that you're basically hurting yourself for 50 damage, giving, I would say, was it like 10, 15 to those around you? The important part is the stamina thing. So the only context I can think of is if like a lot of your team gets hit by like a stun bomb, a stun trap, a massive ki, stuff like that. You can pop it and give them all their stamina back. Especially with Yorm around, it's really awesome to be like, you're not gonna suffer anymore. Boom! That's cool. You're still taking 50 damage for it. There is healing to it. It's not noticeable. It's really slow. Don't focus on the healing part of it. The stamina part's the important part. I would love to see that reworked just very slightly, so it did less damage and just I don't really care about the healing part. That's cool, but either make it better or don't have it at all. It's so minor. Neither here or there. As far as overwhelming, I just spent a few minutes just really looking around, and I would say for the most part feats are pretty balanced as far as not being too strong. There's obvious examples like Fire Flask can be kind of overbearing. The 2 I would bring up is, I think Second Wind should be reduced slightly. I think getting 50 health back is kind of it's a little bit broken. I'm glad there's not 4 uses of it like it was in the old days. 50 health back. That's a huge deal. That's erasing like a Yorm Slam, a Shaman Bites, that's almost getting rid of an entire out of stamina punish at a click of a button. I think bring it down to 40 would be plenty. That's a 30 year health back. As far as damage though, I can't think of any one specific feat that I get hit by like, that is broken. Except for the one that I play. I think Highlander Spear Storm is pretty fucking busted. I think it just does way too much damage to friendlies and enemies. It should be useful. It shouldn't be like Catapult where it takes forever to get here and then does high damage. considering how fast it comes in, how big of an area you get hit by, and how much it can lock you in, I think it should do just slightly less damage. I think it does 70 per tick, and you can get hit with it 4 times. I think it doing 60 or 55 per tick, and you get hit by like 4 times. That's easier to swallow. I cannot tell you how many people I have deleted from the face of the battlefield by pressing a button in their direction. It just deletes whole groups in one go. And it should be strong. It has a slow cooldown. It should be useful and awesome, but it shouldn't do that much damage. It's pretty absurd. Those are the ones I think could use some tweaking. Our last one reads, what heroes do you have trouble fighting the most? Oh, I'm looking at the roster right now. I can take the easy way out and I could rant on about Blackbriar. Everyone knows I don't like Blackbriar, and obviously that's number 1. But for other characters I don't normally talk about, I'm actually really bad at fighting Nucia, and I'm really weak against like heroes like Peacekeeper. I get my shit pushed in by Peacekeeper, and it's nothing to say about the hero's balance. It's just me. Like, I'm just really weak at fighting Peacekeeper. By the same token, I'm weak against Shaman as well. Shaman's not a OP character by any means, but I can get wrecked by one quickly. Man, I can also get pretty wrecked by Aramusha. A good Aramusha is hard to open up, hard to contend with, especially as a Highlander. That might actually be one of my hardest matchups. When I fight Aramusha, it's very rarely like a back and forth thing. I'm either demolishing them or I'm getting my shit pushed in. So, a couple heroes. Alright guys, that'll wrap up Monday Mailbox for this week. If you want your question to be answered, make sure to put it below, or if you're in my Discord, you can put it in the Monday Mailbox tab. Much love, guard out. Hey everyone, thank you for watching. I invite you to join my Discord, links in the description. If you want to help support the channel, donation and Patreon links are down below. Much love, guard out.